job number 172 for James Company. Quantity 1,500 units, completed by the end of May. There are your direct materials and the dates they were entered, and direct labor, and the overhead. So you can see when direct labor was calculated at $550, the overhead was $825. Cost to complete the job. Well, direct materials, you can add them up and it would be $5,020. And direct labor, $1,700. And overhead, $2,550. So the total job is 9270. Therefore, the unit cost, 9270 divided by 1,500, and the answer would be $6.18. Now, the first question is, what was the predetermined overhead rate? Well, the predetermined overhead rate, it would be equal to the overhead, 2,550, over the direct labor dollars, because that is the base they use, and the answer is $1.50, or 150%. But $1.50 per direct labor dollar. Gallagher Company applies manufacturing overhead to jobs on the basis of machine hours. Overhead costs are expected to be $450 for the year, and the machine usage $125. All right, it says compute the manufacturing overhead rate. Well, the manufacturing overhead rate then would be equal to 450,000 divided by the hours of 125,000, and that would equal $3.50 per machine hour. That's how we're going to allocate it to our products. What was the amount of under or overhead applied as of December? Well, I know that I incurred this. What did I apply? Well, I would have applied that should be 60 cents. $3.60 times the number of actual hours, and the actual hours incurred was 130,000. So therefore, I would have applied $468,000, and therefore, if I incurred 475, and if I incurred 75 and I applied 468,000, then I underapplied by 7,000. Okay? So that equals 7,000. Underapplied overhead. Indicate whether each of the following costs of a pencil manufacturer would be classified as direct material, direct labor, or manufacturing overhead. Depreciation. Well, depreciation in equipment is always MO, manufacturing overhead. The lead inserted into pencils. Well, I can measure that. Direct material. Factory utilities. Again, that's an indirect cost, so it's manufacturing overhead. Wages of the assembly line worker. I can measure that. That's direct labor. Salary of supervisor, no. Difficult to measure that, so it's manufacturing overhead. Factory maintenance machine, manufacturing overhead. The wood that goes into pencil, definitely direct material. And the eraser, direct material. Morgan, Player and Associates, a law firm, employs activity-based costing. The following budgeted costs for each activity. So there's your activities. Researching legal issues, meeting with clients, preparing legal documents. At the beginning of the year, they estimated that the cost would be $31,500 for researching, $1,760,000 for meeting the clients, and $480,000 for preparing the docs. Now that's the dollars that they assume they're going to spend in overhead. And the activity related to each one of those pools is given here. 900 research hours, 8,800 professional hours, 30,000 pages. Okay. During 2013, they actually used or incurred 660 research hours, 25,000 documented pages, and 10,000 professional hours. Compute the total applied during 2013. Well, simply divide the pool by the activity to get the activity-based rate. So the first one would be $35, and the second one would be $16, and the third one would be $200. So I copy those rates over here, 35, 16, and 200. And here was the actual use of the cost driver, so 35 times 660, 23,100. 2,500 documents times 16 would be 400,000. And 200 times 10,000 would be 2 million. So that would be the overhead applied. And if you total that, you get 2,423,100 of indirect costs would have been applied to those different activities. Hops Inc. manufactures several types of microbrew beverages. Hops have identified the following activities. Indicate whether they're value-added or non-value-added. Inventory control, that would be non-value-added. Purchasing, non-value-added. Receiving, non-value-added. Training, yes, that would be value-added. Machine setups, non-value-added. Brewing, definitely value-added. Packaging and shipping, value-added.